Okay, welcome to class today. I think you'll really enjoy it, but be prepared for a pretty good yoga practice. We'll be working a lot on strength today, doing some sun salutations and sun salutation variations. So welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Coming to the top of our mat, let's go ahead and settle in our feet. Find our neutral spine. And again, finding our neutral spine, checking those notches on the front and on the back of your hips. Make sure that they're level. Usually requires me to tilt my pelvis forward a little bit. Lengthening our spine, growing it tall. Opening up the chest, slight tension between the shoulders. Our face is soft. Our throat is relaxed. Eyes are closed. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Try and find your balance between the ball of your foot and your heel, spreading out the toes to create a more stable foundation for your body. Maybe just move around a little bit to find that place where your body can be completely still. Inhaling energy, exhaling to flood calm and relaxation throughout your body. Inhaling and exhaling. Gentle, soft breath. Bringing our focus to the inhale in the stomach area. See if you can inhale and really expand that area. Might help to place your hand on your belly to feel the rise and fall. Inhaling it, completely expanding the belly. Exhaling to completely contract and empty the air in the low part of the lungs. Trying to maintain a smooth, steady inhale and lengthening that exhale. Eventually trying to get the inhale half as long as the exhale, or the exhale twice as long as the inhale. Remember, we're expanding the belly with each inhale and contracting with each exhale. Move your hand up to the middle of your chest. Let's begin to feel the middle part of the lungs, the middle section of the lungs on the inhale. You might feel your ribs expanding and opening, separating with the inhale, squeezing, contracting with each exhale. Inhaling to expand, exhaling, contracting, tightening. Keeping that breath in the middle part of the lungs for this practice. Again, lengthening that exhale, trying to get the exhale twice as long as the inhale. Maybe check back in to make sure your posture is tall, the muscles on your face are soft and relaxed. Let's take one more breath, expanding the chest here. And then let's move the breath up into the throat. Really opening up the throat on the inhale. You might feel that air cooling as it enters, warming as it exhales and leaves the body. Maybe you can feel that breath on the back of your throat, the top of your mouth, Again, our body is completely relaxed. You might feel a new sensation in your head as you're directing more oxygen to your brain. And you can put your hand back down to your belly. And let's inhale first to the belly area, then to the chest, then to the throat. And exhale from the throat to the chest to the belly. Inhale, belly, chest, throat. Exhale, throat, chest, belly. And let's take 3 or 4 full breaths here. You might want to imagine that breath coming up from the base of the spine, inhaling all the way to the crown of the head, and exhaling from the crown of the head down to the base of the spine. Take one last breath here. We'll start to add our arms on the inhale. So let's bring our arms up. Again, with real intention, mindfulness, imagine ourselves starting to swirl that energy around our body using our arms. Finding strength in our arms as we're inhaling, exhaling, pushing it down, inhaling, pulling it up, strong arms, exhaling, pushing it down. One more inhale here, and we'll lace our fingertips together, palms towards the ceiling, reaching up, starting to open up into the shoulders, the armpits, extending the spine. Taking a deep breath here. And take your right elbow and try and point that right elbow up to the ceiling, pulling and stretching clear through the right hip, from the fingertips through the hip. Keeping that breath steady. Inhaling, reaching up. Again, pressing up, opening into those shoulders, armpits, stretching out the rib cage, extending the spine. Left elbow comes up towards the ceiling, leaning to the right. We're keeping our body in one plane. We're not leaning forward or leaning back. We're keeping that plane straight. One more breath here, reaching it up. And let's slowly come to a forward fold, hinging from the hip with a flat spine. Slowly begin to open up into the backs of our legs, our hips, our spine. You should be able to feel that releasing in your hips. Allow gravity to lower your torso closer to the ground. If you need to, you can add a slight bend to your knees, or you may come out a little bit farther to the floor to be able to straighten your legs a little bit. Find the measure of the pose that's working for your body. Let's tuck our chin in a little bit, and maybe feel a little more stretching in the backs of our legs. Okay, coming to a squat. And we'll stand up, inhaling. Again, lacing the fingers together, reaching up, coming back to a forward fold. We've got a flat spine hinging from the hips. Finding those 2 sitting bones at the bottoms of our butt cheeks, and really try and lift those toward the ceiling, trying to find space between those 2 sitting bones in your heels. You might feel some shaking in your body as you're waking up your nerves, waking up your muscles. And imagine if gravity is just letting you fall a little bit farther into this fold. Now coming back down to a squat. Inhale to standing. Let's place our palms facing each other, reaching them up, squeezing, tucking our glutes together, reaching behind, engaging the core, keeping it tight, and we'll come forward to a forward fold. Pause here for a moment for a breath. And then coming up to a half lift, pressing into our shins, tucking our elbows tight to our body with the elbow facing the wall behind us. Press into the shin. You should feel some real strengthening happening in your arms. Again, check your sitting bones, making sure that they're lifted. And then come back to a forward fold. This time we'll squat and come up to a chair pose. So in our chair pose, we're keeping our legs bent, our knees are behind our toes, and we're reaching out in front of us. Starting to warm up these big muscles in our legs. You can add a slight bend, a slight pulse here. Keeping the knees behind the toes, really pushing your glutes to the back wall, reaching forward. Okay, one more breath here and we'll inhale to standing, inhale to standing, palms facing each other, reaching up, extending back, forward fold with a flat spine, hinging from the hips, lifting those sitting bones. Coming up to a half lift, hands on shins, elbows tucked, facing the wall behind us, lifting our sitting bones, pressing into the shins, back to a forward fold, and then again, we'll return to our chair. So squatting, keeping the knees behind our toes, coming up to our chair pose. This time we're going to add a little bit deeper bounce here. And we'll stay here for a little bit longer. Should feel your body starting to build some heat. Maybe your heart rate is starting to come up. Okay, one more breath here. And we'll return to standing. Palms facing each other, reaching up, extending back, a forward fold, and a half lift, a forward fold, back to our chair, and we'll add a variation onto our chair here. So we'll stay here in our chair, and we will add a lunge back. So taking our right foot, we're going to step it back, finding that straight leg, dropping the heel to the mat. Now we'll drop our right knee to the mat. Right knee to the mat, lifting it up, coming back to chair, and then down into chair here. Keeping that pulse going. Okay, we'll take the lunge on the left side this time. So we'll stand up, take that left leg, step it back, as far as we can get it. Drop that left heel to the mat, keeping the right knee behind the right toes, and drop the left knee to the mat. Lifting it up, and then stepping forward, coming back to our chair. And we'll take it again on the right side and the left side. Bouncing here. Okay, one more inhale, and then we'll step back. Drop that heel to the mat, drop the knee to the mat, lifting that knee, stepping forward, coming back to chair, knees behind the toes, adding the bounce. One more breath here and we'll step back left. Inhaling, step back left, drop the left heel to the mat, dropping the left knee to the mat. Really push forward with that left hip, trying to open up the left hip. Release it, reaching up, returning to our chair. and come back to bouncing. My legs are getting really warm here. Okay, this time we're going to add our left elbow to our right knee and then come back to a lunge. So standing up, left elbow to right knee, back to chair, back to stand, right leg steps back, coming to a lunge, standing, returning to the chair, and back to our bounce here. Okay, we'll do the right elbow to the left knee. One last breath. Left knee comes up, reaches to the right elbow. Return to our chair. And then drop that left leg back to our lunge. Return to standing, back to chair. And again, we're lunging here, or we're bouncing here. Let's do it again on the right side. Ready? Right leg, left elbow, back to chair. Back to standing, right leg comes back to a lunge. Back to standing and down to chair. We'll bounce here for a minute. This time, left knee, right elbow. Ready? Left knee, right elbow. Return to standing, chair, standing, left leg comes back, drop to the lunge, reach it up, step forward, back to chair. Just pause here and we'll do it one more time. Left leg, right elbow, back to lunge, stepping that right leg back, dropping the right leg, lifting it up, stepping forward, back to chair. This time left elbow, right leg, back to chair. Drop the left leg back, lunge, lift, step forward. And let's do 8 of these. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to standing, palms facing each other, reaching up, extending back, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Might come a little bit farther here. Half lift, forward fold, and we'll pause here in our forward fold and we'll do a couple of leg lifts. So you can have your hands on the mat in front, or you can have your legs slightly bent. Our hands need to be to the mat. Okay. And we'll take our right leg, lifting it directly behind the hip, so keeping the knee and the hip parallel, both hips parallel to the mat, pushing that right leg up as high as we can get it, balancing on our hands and our left foot. Really pushing that right knee up. Finding your breath, softness in your face. One more deep breath here. Push it up a little bit higher and return your foot to the mat. Come up to a half lift. Should feel some good fatigue happening in your muscles. Okay, forward fold again, and this time we'll lift our left leg. Hands to the mat. You can have your hands out forward or knees slightly bent, taking the left foot, pushing it straight up to the ceiling, trying to keep that right leg as straight as you can get it. Finding your breath. A lot of times we forget to breathe in some of these intense poses. One more deep breath, push it up a little bit higher, and then return to the forward fold. Take a half lift. Do this half lift for a little bit of a break, lifting your head, getting some blood flow back into your head, and then back to a forward fold. And we'll drop our right leg to the back of the mat into a lunge. Let's pause in this lunge for just a moment here. Make sure that we've got our hips parallel to the mat. Try and drop that right heel a little bit farther, stretching out the space between the left knee and the right heel, trying to lower the front of our right thigh closer to the mat. And let's drop our knee. Raising up. And if you're able, reach behind, grabbing that right heel, pulling it toward your body. And again, if this is not in your practice, you can stay with your chest raised, your arms resting on your knee. Find the form of the pose that's working for you. And let's drop that right foot. And we'll take our left foot to the back of the mat and find ourselves in plank. So coming into plank, lowering our hips, pulling that navel in to our spine, drop to our knees. Now put your chest and your chin right on the mat between your fingers, keeping your elbows tucked in to the sides, and then sliding up. Lace aside if your feet are down. Lifting, straight arms, raising that chin. Flow through to lift your hips to down dog. And then let's take our right foot back to the top of the mat. Now we're in a lunge on the left side. Let's just pause here for a moment, trying to keep that left heel pushing lower, stretching out the calf, bringing the front side of the left thigh closer to the mat, using the breath to stretch a little bit farther, softening in the face muscles. Now drop that left knee to the mat and continue that stretch. And you can stay here, or you can lift up. Rest your hands on your knee. And you can also reach to the back. Grab that left heel and pull it forward. Find the measure of the pose that works for your body. When you're working to your edge, to that part that you feel work, tension, but not pain, regardless of what the pose looks like, you're getting as much work and benefit from your form of the pose as somebody who's much more experienced. Okay, drop that left foot back to the mat. Hands back to the mat. Now let's bring our left foot forward. Find ourselves in this forward fold again. Lifting those sitting bones up. Come to a half lift. Pressing on the shins, keeping the elbows tucked close to the body. Reaching the head towards the wall in front of you. Dropping back to a forward fold. Now we can squat and then return all the way to standing with our palms facing each other. Reaching up, extending back, forward fold to a half lift and a forward fold. This time our left leg goes back first. Left leg back, right leg back to our plank, and we'll pause here in plank. And we're gonna do some leg lifts here in plank. So if you need to modify that, come to your knees and you can do the leg lift with your knees. Or if your wrists are having troubles, come down to your forearm and you can still do the leg lift on your knee and your forearms, okay? I'm gonna try and stay in a regular plank pose. Let's lift that right leg straight up, keeping it parallel with your torso, tucking your navel in, remembering to breathe, squeezing that navel in. One more breath and return to plank. Knees, chest and chin. Cobra, to our up dog, down dog, and then we'll come back to plank. And you can find your modified plank with your knees or your forearms, and we'll lift our left leg. Now lift our left leg. Squeezing that navel in, breathing, and returning to plank. Knees, chest and chin. Cobra, to up dog, to down dog. And our left foot comes between our fingers. And our right foot comes between our fingers. Forward fold, half lift, pressing into those shins. Forward fold, and let's squat to standing. And then our palms come facing each other, reaching up, extending back. Forward fold, half lift, a forward fold. Right leg comes back, left leg comes back, a plank, knees, chest and chin, and we'll pause, chest and chin. So find the form that's comfortable for you. Hike that booty up towards the ceiling, resting on your chest and on your chin. We'll take our right leg and lift it. Inhale, lift, keeping the hips parallel to the mat. You'll notice your right hip wants to raise and open up to the right side. Try and keep that right hip low, lifting the right leg high as you can get it, keeping those elbows tucked into the body. One more breath and release it. Okay, my knees are getting sweaty and they're sliding here. Okay, left leg lift. Keep those elbows tucked in. Remember your breath, trying to keep the face muscles soft and relaxed. And release. And let's come up to Cobra. So the laces side of our feet are down, our arms are bent, our chest is open, elbows tucked in, straight arm to up dog. Really extend those arms as straight as you can get them. And then flow through, lifting the hips to down dog, putting your tiptoes to the mat. And everything is feeling really slick to me today. Okay, let's rest in our down dog. This is a good time to catch your breath, listen to your body. You might want to pedal your feet up and down, stretching. You might want to try and lower your chest closer to the mat. Open up from your right side to your left side. Just listen to your body. You can slide forward or back. And then let's take our right foot back to the top of the mat between our hands. We'll take our left foot to the top of the mat. Find ourselves in forward fold, and notice that you're coming a lot farther into your forward fold as your muscles are warming up and stretching. And a half lift, tucking those elbows in, pressing into the shins, really strengthening the backs of our upper arms. Lifting our sitting bones back to a forward fold, and then come to a squat. Inhale to standing. Palms are facing each other about a foot apart, reaching up, extending that spine, reaching back, tucking the glutes, forward fold, hinging from the hips, and a half lift, and a forward fold. And our left foot goes back. And let's drop our right knee right between our hands, and our right foot comes in front of our left hip. The laces side of our left foot are to the mat. Let's slowly try and sink both of our hips closer to the mat. Really stretching in this pigeon pose. Trying to get that right hip lower to the mat. It might feel really good to open up the chest here, keeping those elbows tucked in. Create some tension between your shoulder blades. Extending the spine tall. Inhaling, and on the exhale, keeping those elbows tucked. Folding forward over our right leg. And if you're able, you can bring your forehead to the mat. Again, you'll notice a more intense stretch in that right hip. And if you imagine your exhale sending relaxation and ease to that right hip, you'll notice yourself coming into the pose a little bit farther with each exhale. Tension builds up quickly in our hips, and we just have to be very mindful with each exhale to allow that area to soften and relax. Okay, keeping the elbows tucked in, lifting the face, the chest. Left toes to the mat, lifting up. And we'll come back to our plank. Our knees, chest and chin. Cobra. The up dog, straight arms reaching up. Back to down dog. Let's take our left foot between, or our left knee between our fingertips. And our left foot in front of our right hip. The laces side of our right foot to the mat. Start to lower that left hip closer to the mat. Allowing each exhale to soften and relax the hip, allowing it to lower with each breath. Now you can stay here in this pigeon pose, opening the chest, lifting the chin. Or if you're comfortable, you can begin to fold your chest over the left knee. Lowering your forehead to the mat. You can reach out in front of you with your arms. Trying to find complete relaxation here. Allowing gravity to do the work for you. And allowing your mat to support you. Okay, we'll take one more soft breath here. And return to pigeon. Lifting up, opening the chest. Back to our right toes, lifting up. And then you can bring that left foot between your hands. Back into the lunge. Right foot comes to meet the left foot. Forward fold, half lift, forward fold, squat to standing. And then our hands come back to heart center. Okay, let's shake it out just a minute. And grab a drink of water, and we'll do 4 rounds of sun salutations. Faster, we won't do variations. We'll just go right through it quickly. So stay at your own pace and what works for you. If you need to sit around out, sit around out. We'll meet at the top of our mat. Neutral spine, hands at heart center. One more breath, and we'll inhale up. Hands separate, reaching back, forward fold to a half lift, a forward fold. Right leg comes back, left leg comes back. Plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog. Right leg forward, left leg forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, squat to stand, reaching up, extending back. We'll work on our left side this time. forward fold, half lift, forward fold, left leg back, right leg back, plank, knees, chest and chin, lifting to cobra, all the way up to up dog, flowing through, lifting hips to down dog, left leg forward, right leg forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, squat, inhale to standing, reaching up, extending back, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, right leg, left leg, plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog, right foot forward, left foot forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, inhale to standing, palms facing each other, reaching back, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, left leg back, right leg back, plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog, left leg, right leg, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, inhale to standing, reaching up, extending back, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, right leg back, left leg back, plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog, right leg, left leg, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, squat to stand, reaching up, extending back, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, left leg back, right leg back, plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog, left leg forward, right leg forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, inhale to standing, reaching up, extending back, last one right side, half lift, forward fold, right leg back, left leg back, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, down dog, right leg forward, left leg forward, half lift, forward fold, inhale to standing, last one, left side, extending forward, half lift, forward fold, left leg, right leg, plank, knees, chest and chin, cobra, up dog, left leg forward, right leg forward, forward fold, half lift, forward fold, squat to stand, inhaling up, gently placing our hands together at heart center, neutral spine, chest is open, finding our breath, allowing our heart rate to settle. Releasing our hands to the side, keeping that spine tall. Let's take 3 or 4 more full breaths here. Okay, let's release it. Shake it out. And we'll come down to our mat in table pose. So in table pose, our wrists stack directly over our elbows, directly over our shoulders. Our knees are right under our hips. We can put our laces side down, or we can come back up on our toes. Lifting the area, the space between your shoulder blades. Exhaling as you lift up, opening up the space between your shoulder blades, tucking your chin in, Really lifting the mid to upper back. And then on your next inhale, opening up, coming down to cow, dropping your chest between your arms, lifting your chin, being mindful to not dump tension into our lower spine. So really focus on pushing that chest between your arms. And on the next exhale, come back to a cat. And on the next inhale, opening up to cow, pushing that chest between your arms. And then back to neutral. Reaching your arms forward, creating a bowl between your heels, pushing your hips back into that space. Reaching your arms forward, bringing your forehead to the mat for centering and grounding. And usually before our class starts, I like to remind students to have an intention for your practice and even an intention for your day. And since we haven't done that, this might be a good moment to think of an intention of how you want to show up today. It might be with more energy. It might be with more calm. It might be with more patience, more motivation, more compassion. Consider something that would help you and those around you. Bringing your palms beside your hips, facing the ceiling. You can lower yourself a little bit farther into baby pose here. You should feel your heart resting, your breath settling. And let's release out of baby pose. And we'll come to our back, lying supine on our backs. Find a comfortable position. Squaring yourself to the mat, keeping both hips equal. Again, finding your softness here, allowing the mat to support you in this pose. Let's take our right leg straight, bringing it up, out from the hip, and reach down as far as you can onto your calf or onto your leg, keeping the leg as straight as possible. It might not be possible for some to keep that leg straight and reach down. So if you need a slight bend, you can work on that and then work towards straightening that leg. And let's just pull that right leg in straight, keeping the left leg straight, the left hip down. Again, breathing softness here and release. Pulling that right leg back in, straightening it out. You'll notice some shaking happening here. Just waking up these nerves, stretching into areas that we don't get stretched. And release. This time we're going to pull it in and then point and flex. Really find the fullest extension of the point, the fullest extension of the flex, and then take your big toe as if it was a marker and draw a big circle clockwise. Wide as you can get it. You'll notice that it's not really a circle, but aim to get that, and then counterclockwise. And then pull that leg in a little bit farther and bring your chest and chin to your knee. Again, keeping that left leg straight, keeping the right leg as straight as you can get it. And release your torso, hands to the mat, flexing the heel. We're going to take about 2 minutes to get this leg down to the floor. And I don't know what happened to my clock. There it is. So you can begin to lower it. When you're down with your heel to the mat, feel free to just let it relax and rest in Shavasana until the 2 minutes is up, or you can bring it back up and start to lower it again. Be mindful of your navel, tucking it as tight to your spine as you can get it. Try and keep the top of your body, your torso, your arms, your hands really soft, keeping that hip coming or that foot coming straight down in alignment with the hip, flexing. Try and pull that kneecap in towards the thigh. Tuck your navel to the spine. Soften the muscles in your face. Really working into our core and our abdominal wall here. We have about 45 seconds left. Keep that heel flexed, navel tucked, kneecap pulled into the thigh. Arms resting. Really make these last few inches count. Okay, keep that heel to the mat. Just rest in Shavasana for a moment, palms up. See if you can notice a difference in your right leg and your left leg. Your right leg should feel lengthened, extended, longer. And your left leg will probably feel a lot more tight, shorter, tense in comparison. Okay, let's work on our left leg. Straighten your leg. Lift your left leg straight towards the ceiling, keeping it as straight as you can get it. Pulling that left kneecap into the thigh, reaching down as low as you can get on your leg. Pull it in closer to our chest and relax. Hold it in again, a little bit farther. Remembering to breathe in all of these poses. Yoga is mostly about breath work and connecting the breath to the body. Let's release it. Okay, let's pull it in one more time. And this time we're going to point and flex. Point and flex. I don't know if you can see, but this left leg of mine always shakes like crazy. Okay, drawing that circle with your big toe. You can go clockwise. Really stretching, rotating into that ankle, stretching into the shin, the calf, counterclockwise. Straighten the leg, straighten that right leg and the left leg. Pull the right kneecap towards the thigh, lifting your chest to your knee. And release it. And we'll take 2 minutes to lower our legs. Flexing the heel, resting those hands, keeping that left heel aligned with the left hip, pulling the left kneecap into the thigh. Then really work on your stomach and your abdominal wall. And if it helps, put your hands on there to feel those muscles engaging and see if you can get them to engage clear from your pelvic bone up to your solar plexus where your rib cages meet, where your ribs meet on the right and left side. And again, remembering that breath, it's so important. Lengthening, softening the muscles in your face. Keeping that knee pulled into the thigh. Heel is flexed. Navel tucked in. Your hands are resting softly. You've got 45 seconds left here. Really make the last few inches count. Really tighten your abdominal wall. Flex the heel. Pull the kneecap in. Soften the neck, throat, face. Eyes are closed. 15 seconds left. Good work. Really make this count. Good job. Okay, just allow your feet to fall out to the side. Palms facing the ceiling. Open the area between your arm and your torso so that you can get airflow around your body. Just lie here in your Shavasana for a moment. Now feeling how that left leg feels lengthened. More at ease in our body here. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And we'll continue to work into the core, and we'll work on our side abdominal wall. So resting your hand on your, let's see, your head on your hand using the top hand for balance. Let's just lift this leg straight up, straight down. And don't let momentum do the work for you. If you go up and down, momentum is working for you. Slowly and with intention, lifting and lowering. About 5 more. Strengthening into your side abdominal wall. We've got our navel tucked, and I'm losing count, so I think there's maybe 1 more after this. Good work. Okay, lower that arm all the way to the mat, resting your head on your upper arm, keeping a straight line from your fingertips to your heels. We lift both legs and hold them there. And we'll do this 2 times. So if you'd like to continue lifting and keep them up without a rest in between, you're welcome to do that. Inhale, lift. Trying to lift both of our feet as high off the mat as we can get. Keeping the balls of the foot and the heels of the foot together. Squeezing deep into those hip flexors. Tucking the navel in. 1 more breath. And release. Inhale, lift. Really work on tightening all of those muscles along from your hip into your side abdominal wall, into your stomach, tucking it. Make that navel close to the spine. So you can even start lifting your pelvic floor up in this pose. It's really quite a dynamic pose. And exhale. Okay, you can roll over onto the opposite side. Hand, or that your head is resting in your hand, straight line from your elbow to your heels, using the hand in front of you for balance. Slowly lifting, lowering, and I'm going to count this time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it. Now laying your arm all the way to the mat, resting your head on your upper arm, keeping a straight line from your heels to your fingertips. On the inhale, lift both feet. Inhale, lift, keeping the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet together. Tucking that navel to the spine. And release. Take a good breath. Completely relax into that hip. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, lift. Balls of the feet touch, heels touch. One more good breath here, and lower it slowly. Okay, return to Shavasana. Let's take 8 nice relaxing breaths here. And then we'll do yoga mudra for our final relaxation. Take a moment also to notice the flow of energy in your body. It might feel like tingling. It might feel like a rush. It might feel like there's a slight hum in your body. It's all of the energy that you've awakened into your body with your practice today. And it's also bringing relaxation into your parasympathetic nervous system. And you'll notice yourself again on each exhale, sinking deeper into your relaxation, really allowing the earth to completely support your body and the weight of your body. Relaxing the muscles of the face. Possibly your jaw is tight or your brow is furrowed. Bringing your knees into your chest. For a knee press. Releasing into that low spine. Rolling to the side. And then returning to a comfortable seated cross-legged position. And we'll spend 3 minutes on the right side and 3 minutes on the left side. So pay attention to which leg you have in front. I'm going to put my right leg in front this time. If you're comfortable coming up into lotus, you're welcome to do that. You would put both of your feet on top of your thighs. That's something that I'm working toward. And my knees aren't working as fast as my body wants to work on this one. So finding your comfortable cross-leg position, extending your spine tall, opening the chest, reaching behind your back and grabbing your left wrist with your right hand gently. You want to keep that grip loose and relaxed with an open chest. Slowly bring your chest forward, hinging from the hips. You might find yourself adjusting your legs a little bit as you're coming farther into the pose. Finding real softness in your face. That's really a good indicator. It's checking into your face muscles, your brow, your jaw. Finding softness there will also help you find softness in the rest of your body. And coming into the pose. Again, taking a moment to consider your intention for your practice today, your intention for your day, how you want to show up. Noticing the tightness that develops so easily in your hips, using the breath to send relaxation as that tightness comes in. Really listening to your body and working with it, allowing it to feel safe to relax and find ease in this pose. Inhale, release, flat spine, open chest, coming out of the pose. And then uncross your legs with a little bit of movement in them. A lot of times you can build up some real tension. We cross the other leg in front this time. And I can't remember which one I did. I think I need to do this. Okay. Tall spine, open chest, soft face, eyes are closed. Gently reach behind you with a flat spine, hinge from the hips, bringing yourself forward. Finding relaxation in the pose. While we're in these poses, holding them a little bit longer, your mind can start to wander. And when it does, just return to the breath. And sometimes even if you just count the breath, you can keep your mind neutral and keep those ruminating thoughts out of it. as you ease more into a meditative state. Okay, with an inhale, release. And then gently place your wrists over your knees. And allow that blood flow to come back into your head. And hands back to heart center. I offer gratitude for your participation in class. I always enjoy seeing you. And my wish for you today is contentment. Namaste. Thanks for joining. I'll try and get this one posted to YouTube so we can all have access to it. Thanks again. Enjoy your day.